That's how you believe in yourself. That's how you make it go forward. That's how you make your self-esteem go higher. It is not some strategy or tricking yourself into believing in yourself, because as soon as that trick is gone, you will crash and revert to how you once were. So instead, hi, this is a guide to believing in yourself by Sharam Namdarian, who just happens to be me. Now, I just want to share something that I think is a complete huge paradigm shift to what you might hear a lot about confidence, a lot about feeling great about yourself, a lot about believing in yourself when it comes to life situations. Now, this is something that I have basically been developing for a while. I spent 2019 just sort of figuring myself out. And this, to be honest, is one of the biggest realizations that I had, and one of the biggest realizations that I had to have, because frankly, being me was way too hard. And if you are in the same situation where you feel like maybe being you is a little bit too hard, maybe there's a dream that you have, some lofty goal that you want to get to, yet at the same time you're really feeling like, oh, but if only I believed in myself more. What this video is about is learning to believe in yourself. And at the true core of everything, this video is going to set you on the right path. So not necessarily a path that is someone else's path, not necessarily a path that will eventually you'll regress back to how you used to be, or not necessarily a contextual path, like that it's like you only believe yourself in one situation versus other situations. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Sharam, and I'm a life dating coach. I also do a lot of philosophy stuff. I am, in a nutshell, a spiritual inventor, meaning I look down at the very core of who we are as a person and try to solve those problems, as in the problems that we have with ourselves and other people and all this sort of stuff. And I think for the last maybe 7 years or so, I've been working as a dating coach. So I've been helping people connect with other people, basically. And what I really find really interesting is that how we treat emotions is really, it all comes down to that. Our relationship with emotions is, when it comes to relationships, our relationship with other people. But more importantly, when it comes to believing in ourselves, our relationship with our emotions is our relationship with ourselves. So like, we often spend a lot of time fighting ourselves. And so this is where a lot of people say energy problems have. Like sometimes when I'm coaching someone one-on-one, for example, when we deal with really intense issues, at the end of the call, they're really feeling fatigued. Now, it's not necessarily that during the call, they are tired, but it is because we're talking about issues that they've been battling for a while. And if you're battling yourself, that's a lot of energy that is taken away. So one of the biggest paradigm that I want to get across, and in the nicest way, and a lot of people might be like, yeah, but give me the thing, like I got to write down the sentence every fucking day. Like I got to say, I believe in myself. That's not what I want you to do. If you're watching this video, if you're like, I really want to hear what he has to say, I want you to try less. I want you to try and believe in yourself a little bit less. That's the first step, all right? Because when you try and believe in yourself a little bit less, you're not trying to create some false sense of reality. Often what happens is we try so goddamn hard, so it's like trying to build a building on sand. The foundations aren't necessarily there. We can build the best building we want to build, but at the end of the day, if the building is built on sand, the foundations, so it's how we treat ourselves, really importantly. So more often than not, when people try and believe in themselves and try and take some strategy, what they're actually doing is they're communicating to themselves that they are not enough, that they must look outside what is solved inside. So that's the step number one, is to sort of try a lot less. But if you're trying less, how do you move forward? That's the ultimate paradox of life, right? That's the ultimate paradox, and it's where those two lines mix is where you believe in yourself. So I would say number two is recognize a true fucking fact, and that is that you are born, naturally bred, a high self-esteem person, meaning that when you were born in the womb, you weren't doubting yourself. You may have been crying because that's like, oh God, I just went through some trauma. But at the end of the day, I really like to point across that we, at a very core level, are not designed to doubt ourselves at an identity level. We might doubt ourselves because, say, for example, oh God, if I go outside of the cave, the bear might eat me. There are survival tactics. But at a very core level of who we are, right? At a very core level of who we are, a good majority of the time, we don't have to actually try and believe in ourselves. So a good majority of the time, people, when they talk about believing in themselves or having confidence, what they have an idea of what it looks like. They have an idea of what it looks like. So it's like, imagine you're a boat, right? You have an idea of where you want to go. Now, the great thing about being a human being is that all you need to do, at the very core of everything, all you need to do is solve those emotional problems. So the emotional problems that I said that we're fighting ourselves, that's the situation, that's the thing we need to solve. I like to think of self-esteem like a little goddamn rubber ducky, in a boat. Not in a boat, a little goddamn rubber ducky in a bath. That's your self-esteem. It can only go as high as the water goes. Now, the water is you. The bath is full. The rubber ducky wants to go as high as it can possibly go because the water is overflowing. You are abundant with goddamn energy. The only thing is we are the ones holding it down. We are the ones holding that goddamn rubber ducky down. So your self-esteem, believing in yourself, all of that stuff is your fucking birthright. It is something that's inside you. It is something that you are worth it, worthwhile, all of that sort of stuff. So it is worth recognizing that the less you hold that rubber ducky down, the less you fight yourself. That's how you believe in yourself. That's how you make it go forward. That's how you make your self-esteem go higher. It is not some strategy or tricking yourself into believing in yourself, because as soon as that trick is gone, you will crash and revert to how you once were. So instead, we have to let go of that goddamn rubber ducky. We have to let it rise, and we let it rise when it takes a lot of energy to hold yourself down. If you've been doing it for a long time, you might feel lethargic, you might feel apathetic, you might feel not so great about yourself. So at the end of the day, we have to be brave and look at our emotions, look at who we are as a person and say, I have a problem with this. It might be that you're afraid of being afraid. Isn't that interesting? I always love that. It's like the fear of being afraid, the anxiety of being anxious, all of these things that layer upon layer upon layer, and then the resistance, the feeling that I don't want to be afraid. When truth be told, if you are to fall in love with being afraid, then you fall in love with everything beyond that. And that is my greatest invention. As a spiritual inventor, that is my greatest invention. It is the ability and to recognize that we must fall in love with our fears. We must fall in love with the fact that sometimes we are not going to feel great. Sometimes we are not going to believe in ourselves. But it's in that point where you recognize and feel, I'm afraid of being hurt, but I can fall in love with being hurt, that you then allow yourself to grow and to become fucking more. But it's in that point you get a choice to be patient and to recognize, and you can witness your emotions. The only way past it is to witness it, to say, I am feeling afraid, and it's okay. I'm feeling anxious, and it's okay. I can be still with it. I can be still, and when you are still with your emotions, when you accept them fully and you love them fully, that's when you make space for more. It is like a bookshelf or a cupboard. How do you expect to fit more in if it is already full? But once you empty it out, you then give yourself more space for you to put your energy into it. When you make space for something and you allow it to be space without filling it out with some idea or tactic or technique, apart from this one, because this is the natural healing evolution. The natural healing evolution. The body is self-healing. Emotions are self-healing. You just have to let it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did get something out of it, fucking comment what you got. If you liked it, leave a like, because I like when you leave likes. And also make sure to check out, I have a new online course just released. I'm going to do a proper announcement video later. I have a new new online course. It's called 7 Days to Better Connections. And in those 7 days, we talk about this exact thing. And I lead you through the very step process for you to let your rubber ducky fucking rise. So that way you can actually have high self-esteem and believe in yourself and create much more deeper connection. So it's this concept, we're exploring this concept, but around relationships, because often that's enough. You know, when we explore one area, we explore other areas because we're dealing with emotions. So thank you so much for watching this video. The link for that is in the description. And if you did like this video, share it with your friends, share it with someone who you think that would just get off on the fact that I was yelling at you for God knows how long now. All right, thank you so much. You're amazing, you're fantastic. See you soon.